Hey everybody, my name's Nick, and you're watching In the Nick of Time. Today on the show, I have a review of the Citizen Promaster Diver, model number BN0150. It's a 200-meter ISO-rated dive watch that I think could be your everyday watch. Let's get into it. Alright, before we talk about the watch, I do want to give a shout out to the packaging. Now normally, packaging just goes up on a shelf in the closet, never to be seen again, or gets thrown in the trash. But this Citizen Promaster air diver's tank that you get your watch in, I think is an awesome addition to some really cool packaging for this watch. Now, let's get into the real stuff we want to talk about. Let's get into the dimensions. All right, dimensions of this Citizen Promaster EcoDrive Dive Watch, model number BN0150. Has a case dimension of 43.5 millimeters, has a lug-to-lug of 48.5 millimeters, has a thickness of 11.5 millimeters, and the lugs are 20 millimeters. All right, specifications. The case, the bezel, the crown, and the caseback are all 316L stainless steel. The bezel insert is aluminum. It's a screw-down crown, a screw-down caseback. It's a flat mineral crystal, and it houses an EcoDrive Solar E168 movement. All right, let's talk about the dial. Let's zoom in and take a look. As you can see, Citizen printed at the 12, EcoDrive Divers 200 printed at the 6. We have circles for the indices at most of the areas except for the 3, 6, and 9 are trapezoidal indices. And then up there at the 12, you have an indice which a lot of people dub the Prime because it looks like Optimus Prime's head, but it's got a nice notch out of the top to be able to give you some orientation. We've got a date over there at the 4. And then for the hands, you can see a small stubby segmented hour hand, and then an orange minute hand, which makes reading the minutes very, very easy. And then a stark white seconds hand, as you can see, hitting every indice, ticking once per second because it is a quartz movement, with a matte black, almost dark gray charcoal looking dial. And that's because of that. It's got to have that translucent quality to be able to let the light in for the EcoDrive movement. All right, this Citizen usually comes with this rubber strap right here. All right, it's a cheap rubber, almost plasticky feeling. All right, it does have this little no decompression limit table that's printed right here. Okay, it's got some perforations for sweat and water removal. Okay, the buckle is brushed to match the rest of the case, but this is a very, very cheap, not very good rubber strap. Okay, so guess what? Get out of here. Get rid of it. Okay, what you need to go do is go over to Long Island Watch. Okay, Mark over at Long Island Watch, he sells this fitted bracelet. Okay, I have it in the 5-link style. He also has it in a 3-link brush style. Beautiful bracelet. Okay, matches right up. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Matches right up to the case. Matches the aesthetic of this, I think, beautifully. Okay, it's held together by screws. It's got 3 micro drifts in the clasp. It's a dual push button with a fold over. As you can see, it's pretty beat up. I use this all the time. It's a beautiful strap, beautiful watch bracelet. And let's take a look at the case back real quick. Hopefully you guys can see that. It says Citizen EcoDrive and it's got the globe etched into the back. That's their normal EcoDrive branding. It just say, do not open, service center repair only. Citizen wants you taking this to an authorized dealer if you need to get into the watch. But here's the deal, guys. You're not going to be getting into this watch because it's an EcoDrive solar movement. So the sun or even the studio lights here are recharging that battery. Those batteries are going to last you 15, 20 years. So I wouldn't worry about it at all. All right, this bezel. Let's get into the bezel. It's a 60-click unidirectional. It's got no back play. Hits every single mark perfectly. And let's see if we can get this to line up nicely. There it goes. Hey, Seiko, take a look at that. Lines up perfectly. All right, let's check out this loom real fast. Let me shut down this light. There we go. As you can see, beautiful ice blue lume with a green lume at that pip at 12 o'clock on the bezel. All right, now let's talk some pros and cons. First, with the cons. It is mineral glass. I know a lot of people would prefer sapphire. The date window down there at the 4 is really, really small. It's hard to catch a glimpse of. Let's go ahead and pull that crown out real fast. There it is. Okay, it is really hard to read that sometimes. Okay, it's a small crown. As I just demonstrated, it was a little hard to get turned back in, okay? But you shouldn't be touching that crown except for every other month when you have to change over the 31st day of the month. Okay, it is a big watch. 43.5 millimeters is quite big. However, that bezel sits inboard of the case, and the 20 mil lugs does make it wear a little bit nicer than the 43.5 millimeter suggestion. Also, it's an eco-drive quartz. Okay, I would love to have a mechanical watch, but at this price point and also the functionality of quartz, you can't really knock it, but I do think it's a con. All right, now the pros. This is a tough watch. It's made out of stainless steel. It has an eco-drive movement, and it's ISO rated. Okay, so it's tough, it's long lasting. Also, it's got incredible dive style. If you like dive watches, you're gonna like this. And also, that lume that I showed you, that lume's amazing. All right, everybody, final thoughts. I've had this watch for years. I love this watch. Okay, as you can tell, yes, it's not perfect. There are some cons that, you know, some people, like the eco-drive movement, the quartz movement, some people, they can't get past that. Some people, they can't get past the size. Well, guess what? If you do put it on this bracelet, okay, it tapers down nicely, gives a really good wearing experience. Guys, I think you'll really enjoy this watch. Now, it's tough, it's resilient. Yes, it's quartz, I get that. But guess what? Quartz is more accurate than your Rolexes, and it's going to last forever. There's no winding, okay? The eco-drive movement, you won't ever have to touch it. You can probably hand this down to your kids and it'll still be ticking away, all right? Guys, I love this watch, and I think you will too. Give it a shot. If you can find it, it's usually around that $350 price point if you don't buy it used. I think it's a great price, okay? Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the nick of time.